Hello, everyone. We're back with Ken Dombrowski, Executive Life Coach and Master Hypnotist, and we want to talk about balance.
Balance, life balance. So, of course, we're aware that we all have these multiple areas of life, and we want them to all have balance. We have physical health, mental health, emotional health, financial well-being. So many different things in relationships, of course, are always going to be a huge issue. But when we're usually only focusing, a lot of people, on work-life balance. We want to have balance where I work just enough to where I can, make the money I need to, but not so much that I can't enjoy that money or the home that it has bought. So that's kind of where it tends to end for most people. But it really goes on so much further than that. We want to be able to have balance in our physical body, our mental state, or emotional state. Because if you work too much, not only do you not get to have time to enjoy the money that you've earned, that can also take a toll on everything else. So you don't go to the gym as much or exercise as much or take the dog for as many walks as you'd like to. So now your physical body is suffering. But hey, I'm making great money, so isn't that awesome? Well, yeah, but now you're getting a divorce because you never spent any time at home with your spouse and your kids. So you see, it really becomes this huge topic of conversation. Then we can even talk about how there's a kind of a false kind of a balance where someone is they're really not balancing their life. They're getting outside help in balancing. So we see this a lot in millennial and Gen Z type people, is that they'll have a job, usually a part-time job. They'll have mom and dad financing a great portion of their life, as well as handling and managing as much of their adult child's life as they possibly can. I mean, I've had so many people in my office of those age groups where they don't even handle their own bank account. They have a job, and the money obviously gets automatically deposited into their account. And mom and dad are the ones who have the online credentials and just pay all their child's bills for them through that. And if they fall short, then they add more money to it. So that's a false balance. You're not really taking care of yourself or your responsibilities there. So I'm wondering, you being a Gen Z, what do you notice in your relationships with the friends your age?
Well, I mean, I just feel like everyone kind of has an issue with balance. Like it's really hard to find, that perfect balance, and 20-year-olds are not doing that. 20-somethings are not within the realm of amazing balance in their lives. Mm-hmm. So kind of like what you were saying, obviously there's people I know that their parents are still way too involved in their lives. He's my dad. Anyone who's watching these knows that he's my dad, and he loves the hell out of me. Don't get me wrong. He still was like, you're never living in my house past 18. No, go be your own person. Go figure it out. Because at the end of the day, it would be hindering me, and I would not ever know what balance feels like if he continued to just make my life easy. That's not to say that they don't care for me. They don't, offer me help from time to time, but it still needs to be my decision. I still need to be in control of what the hell is going on with me. So I don't have the ability to just sit here and be like, oh, well, I want to take the easiest job, or I only want to work part-time. No, I have my own bills to pay. They're not getting covered. And I know they would, but I would never be like, I need money today. So I feel like so many people are losing balance on that way, or they don't know how to balance like trying to find love with friendships, or just the idea of like the party lifestyle with working. There's so many balances lacking, like where you should be selfish, where you should be selfless. Like there's so much going on. And I think it also like lends to a misconception of when people come into our office, they're not like in shamble human beings. Not everything in the world is going wrong for them. It's usually these people are calling me about one area of their life that they're struggling in. People aren't like, I have no job, my wife just broke up with me, my parents hate me, no friends left. That's not the reality. People are coming to us and they're like, I can't get my love life sorted out, or work is really just not making sense to me right now. It doesn't take a lot to be off kilter.
Really doesn't. Like you think about like all the cogs that make a watch or a clock go. It can be 20 cogs all working together, or gears, All it takes is one of them to be a little out of whack to throw the whole thing, completely disjointed. And so you have to go searching for, where am I missing? Where am I lacking? So you can even think about, and again, I'm sorry, I'm stepping on some toes of my millennial and Gen Z people, but you go to most of their houses, their apartments, they're filthy. They're grimy. They haven't cleaned up. There's just junk and clutter everywhere. I've had so many Gen Z and millennials almost brag about how they wait until they have almost no clothing left before they finally do laundry. And when they do laundry, they don't even fold it up, hang it up, and just leave it in the baskets and just use it out of the basket, while their dresser and closet are half empty because it's all in the laundry baskets. So that's not a good balance. That's not taking care of yourself. It's not respecting yourself, respecting your home, and having some dignity. See, that's going to play a lot when it comes to balance. So what we look at, and I've been teaching this for years, the two things we really want to strive for, out of many, but two important ones, are meaning and purpose. Meaning and purpose are really incredible high vibrations, way higher than happiness. Happy is, for me, I see happy as one of the low-lying of the positively charged states or emotions.
It's actually not a lot to strive for, as people believe.
Exactly. What do you want from life? Well, I want to be happy. Well,
it's a fleeting state of being.
Yeah, it's too much energy, but you can't just be happy all the time. This is really great. Oh, wow, my God. It's exhausting. You'll wear yourself out. But meaning and purpose are very high vibrational energy where it's sustainable for a lifetime. Well, then what do we look at? How do we get meaning and purpose? In my search, what I do, I found the two top things that give you meaning and purpose in your life are productivity and relationships. So if you have a job, you don't have to love your job, but you're still being productive every day. You're getting up, you're going to work, you're doing what needs to be done, making a difference somewhere for a company or what have you, making a paycheck, and then, of course, it finances your life. See, that's productive. That gives our life a great deal of meaning and purpose. The second one, of course, is relationships. We need to have some decent relationships. I really only need one good relationship. And you don't have to be surrounded by 100 friends in order to have a life of meaning and purpose. But the one relationship you do have, or the couple that are good and close, those are going to really help define your joy level, your meaning and your purpose level. Because if you have poor relationships or no relationships, you're someone who's completely isolated, you're going to have an impossible time feeling meaning and purpose in your life.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because as you're saying that, I kind of assume in my head that the people that are quote unquote the happiest are the ones you stop hearing about. Like, they have a job, they're in a relationship, but you stop hearing about them. They're not around kind of just like mingling with the masses because they found that purpose and that meaning, so they're living it. It's not necessarily rainbows 24/7. You say that all the time. I know you love my mom, but you're like, marriage is work. It's not just like we got married and now life's perfect. No, we continue to work on our marriage, which is, that balance and everything. But it's kind of funny because you assume that. When I stop hearing about someone, I'm like, good for them.
Because what are we usually going to hear? The gossip, the negative stuff. Oh, did you hear that she got a DUI? Oh, did you hear that, he got fired? Or did you hear, it's always
this guy
something
cheated,
negative.
Whatever.
Very seldom do you hear, well, you might, I don't know, is there such a thing as positive gossip? Oh, did you hear he got a promotion at work?
No.
Or did you, that kind of thing. It's usually the negative stuff is what we're all hearing about. So I just learned something really great from you right there, Lauren. That's a great way to look at it. The less I'm hearing about you, chances are the happier and better your life is going.
Well, and that's the thing is like I've worked in bars, I've worked in a lot of bars, and the people that I stopped hearing about genuinely seem like they're doing the best. Not that they're like absent on social media, but they just stopped putting themselves in the situations that were causing the issues. So like there's no reason to hear about somebody that's actually living well, who's found what they need to focus on. Those people fall away for a reason. Like a lot of, like in this age, the age group of like 20s and like late teens, you get kind of annoyed at first. You're like, oh yeah, this person just thinks they're better than us. they actually probably are doing better, you know? Like, it's the thing is, like, you can be upset or you can just be like, holy crap, like, good for you, you found your avenue. Because chances are when you find that, you're going to lose your friends anyway.
Well, you know, they say that old saying is it's lonely at the top. And that's something that we can all kind of learn from. You can look at your life as you can be, if you're at the bottom, and this is harsh, I'm sorry, I'm going to step on some toes here, but if you're at the bottom, you're going to have lots and lots and lots of friends, lots of people to commiserate with. You can easily go to a bar or your favorite kind of place like that, and where everyone's just they're drinking, there might be talking, chit-chatting, laughing, whatever, but it's so in the moment, it really doesn't have any lasting effect. So it's not really giving you meaning or purpose. You can go to a bar 5 nights a week and see generally the same people for 20 or 30 years. Did they really give your life meaning and purpose? Absolutely no. Is it productive? No. The only person that's productive in that situation is the bartender, because that person is there at work producing something for everyone else to be able to use. That's it. Everybody else is just being drained, and they don't even know it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was actually talking to one of my friends this morning, and like he was saying, like, yeah, I feel like I only have 6 really close people to me in my life. And I thought about it, and I was like, honestly, I think I only have 2, because when you look at it, you can be so close to so many people, but when you look at the basis of the relationship, will they be there when things change? Probably not. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like you can have the balance of, friends that you do things with or whatever, but understand that they might not always be there for you. So there's a level of understanding, a level of acceptance, a level of everything that kind of goes with balance. Because if you can be okay with what you're going through, understanding what you're losing or gaining by doing it, then that's another thing too. The conversation of balance literally never ends, because there's so many things helping, hindering, changing. No one's ever perfectly in balance, but having meaning and purpose gets you a lot closer.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's actually another video that I want to do is about, when we talk about meaning and purpose, it takes productivity and relationships. Well, what is shocking to me still, after all that I do, thousands of people I've worked with, are the amount of people who come in and they're in their 60s or 70s, never been married, never had children, still living completely alone, and they become so alone that they don't even have a dog, a cat, a goldfish. I would even wonder, are the plants in their house plastic or real, because they just are so isolated. And those people, I'm so sorry to say, this is hard to say and hard to hear, but they have such a low level of meaning and purpose in their life. And especially if you add to that someone who hasn't had to work, maybe they retired or they've got an inheritance years ago and they haven't worked for 20 years. Holy moly, this is going to be someone who's going to have big problems, alcohol problems, drug problems, smoking 2-pack a day problem, along with anxiety, depression, and fear. So meaning and purpose coming from productivity and relationships, it really helps keep us in balance.
To that point, one of the most annoying things that I can hear from people is the ones that are like, yeah, I'm just going to work super hard and then I want to retire in like my 30s or 40s.
Good luck.
I think that's terrible. Even if you can get to that point, what are you doing for the second half of your life? The entire first, 18 years of your life, the purpose is learning the basics. Understanding the basics, like just getting basic knowledge. Then the next set is like getting a hang of life and then going on and everything. Take away work, you literally just have ample amounts of free time. There's no purpose or meaning there. I get retiring because you need to, but early, I'm just like, I can't stand when people say that. I'm like, what do you have left?
Well, you bring up retiring. For me personally, I retired as a general contractor at 39 years old. I had 20 years in the general started at 19, retired at 39. So people couldn't believe that I was retiring so young. And then a couple of years later, people couldn't believe that I was going back to work as a life coach and hypnotist because I was bored off my ass. I was taking care of wife and kids. My wife was still working. I took care of everything. And now I was literally bored. We wrote a series of children's books because we were so bored. I just finally said, to hell with this. I got to go back to work, do something productive to give my life that meaning and purpose again. And that's exactly what happened.
I think it's funny because when I start like dissecting the people around me, because that's like a natural thing I get from you, like the behaviors and everything, I can pick up on them. I think the worst thing that I can say about someone, and they don't even realize it, is like in my own brain, they don't have purpose. Because to me, that's like the craziest red flag. Like, you have no purpose. Mm-hmm. Where are you even going to find it one day? You know, like, at least be looking for it. Mm-hmm. But people don't even realize how much that actually matters. You know, like, they think their purpose is to have fun, or their purpose is something that's so unbelievably menial and fleeting. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. You need to be grounded in something real.
That's a whole lot that we just... Wow, that was a big one. That was a good video talk there. I like that one.
He even said a little behind the scenes before he started, he's like, this won't even be 10 minutes.
That was going to be a couple minutes. We kept on going.
Yep.
So that was a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that was a great conversation. It always takes more turns than you'd expect.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for watching. If you guys ever need anything, you want to have a conversation like this right along with us, please give us a call today.
Thank you.